Hi, it's me, Dr. Prasad Pudilam. I did my master degree from University of Mysore with first rank. Continued to Doctor of Philosophy, PhD from VTU, Belgaum in applied chemistry. For past 15 years, I've been teaching chemistry and applied chemistry for pre-university, UG as well as PG students. During this tenure, I could able to publish more than 24 academic textbooks with ISBN number, and I have served as a member of Board of Studies and Board of Exams for two reputed universities. Right now, I am on YouTube with my YouTube channel, My Intuition. This is dedicated for free classes too and coaching classes for 10 plus 1 for first PUC or 10 plus 2, that is second PUC. So if you share this information to the students or to their parents, it will be more useful for them. And if you are a student watching this video, please watch the video completely, subscribe my YouTube channel, share this information to your friends, give your valuable feedback to the comment box of my YouTube channel of this video or to the WhatsApp number which is displayed in the screen. So this particular class is for second PU, 10 plus 2 chemistry, unit 10 haloalkanes and haloarenes, class 2, that is properties of haloalkanes or haloarenes. Properties of haloalkanes, I'm discussing about, explaining about the color, the physical state, order, melting point, boiling point, stability, solubility, and dipole moment in general. Not taking all the examples, almost in general, these properties are explained here. So first one, color. Color, see, halogen atoms have got their own color and their size also is represented here, the relative size of halogen atoms, not exact size. So relatively, the iodine is bigger in size than bromine, chlorine and fluorine, and based on the arrangement of atoms, electrons present in that, they show different colors. Okay, whereas the alkyl halide or haloalkanes are colorless when they are pure. And the bromides and iodides, even they develop color when it is exposed to light. Say alkyl bromide or alkyl iodide, it will develop color when only if it is exposed to light, because they decompose into halogens, R split into Ri will split into alkyl group as well as iodine, or say halogen will separate out and that color will be given to that organic compound. Their nature, physical nature, they are most of them are they are volatile in nature. At a room temperature, they try to become gaseous state and produce a sweet smell. The melting point and boiling point, if you consider, if you check, they are higher than corresponding the alkynes because they consist of the halogen atoms in place of the hydrogen. The melting point and boiling point are higher because more energy is required, more temperature is required to break those attractive bond between the alkyl halide molecules. Some more polarity is introduced because of the presence of halogen atom, which is more electronegative. Therefore, two alkyl halide molecules, so two more alkyl halide molecules, they have some attractive forces because of the polarity. Therefore, higher temperature required to separate them. Separate means to convert from solid to liquid, that is boiling point, roughly if I say, or melting point, say that is melting point, converting solid to liquid, or boiling point means converting the liquid state to gaseous state. That means the molecules you have to separate. It has to become a free molecule. That means more energy, more temperature is required. Therefore, haloalkanes or haloarenes have higher melting and boiling point compared to the corresponding alkanes due to higher molecular mass of haloalkanes. Okay, that is the example given. Say the schematic representation and picturization with a kite or with a tire, how fast they can move. They move, that representation, that movement of molecules. What I mean by the melting and boiling point increases with increase in size due to higher van der Waals forces. That's what I explained here. So the RF bond has got a even higher bond strength, or the molecule van der Waals forces are less. Therefore, the boiling point increases. Alkyl fluoride to alkyl chloride to alkyl bromide to alkyl iodide. Alkyl iodide having higher melting or boiling point compared to alkyl fluoride or alkyl bromide or alkyl chloride. Okay, or we call it iodoalkane, alkyl iodide or iodoalkane. Iodoalkane is the UPSC style of nomenclature. Alkyl iodide, that is common name. The boiling point of isomeric haloalkanes. So if we have isomeric structures of a haloalkane, then the isomers, that means containing the same number of carbon atoms, same number of halogen atom, but the structural arrangement is different. Such type of isomeric haloalkanes, it decreases with the increasing the branching. As more branching is there, okay, that is more complicated structure. Those molecules cannot pack closer to each other. So here it is bromine is attached to a tertiary carbon. That is three side groups. Say you can say a bulkier group. So one of this molecule to the next molecule, it is difficult to close pack them. The van der Waals forces are very difficult. Therefore, they can be easily converted into say gaseous state. Therefore, their boiling point is less compared. Therefore, as branching increases, okay, so here one bromo, this is butane, one bromobutane, or two bromobutane. As when it comes to two bromobutane, you can see the it becomes a branch from the linear arrangement. It becomes a little bit complicated arrangement. It becomes a branched one. Okay, therefore, the branched haloalkanes, the boiling point is decreasing. So if you have two molecules given, one is less branched or not having a branch side group, or the other molecule with a branch is there, then the molecule haloalkane with a branch will be having lower boiling point. Boiling point of isomeric dihalobenzenes, which are isomeric, that is ortho dihalobenzene or meta dihalobenzene or para dihalobenzenes. They are having almost the same boiling point, but the para isomers are having high melting point. Okay, not boiling point, they are melting point. This due to symmetry and fit into like crystal lattice. That say example, this structure is given para dichloro methane and benzene, this is meta dichlorobenzene or ortho dichlorobenzene. Their boiling point are almost the same. Boiling point means when we convert the liquid state, which is to the gaseous state. Liquid state is the molecules are a little bit free to movement. Converting them to more free movement, that is gaseous state. The molecules are too much free to move. That is almost same temperature. You can convert these molecules. Whereas the conversion from solid to liquid, that is roughly say, that is for example I'm giving, that is the melting point. Okay. In case of the para isomer, they are symmetric arrangement. Therefore, they will fit properly to a crystal lattice in the solid state. So in solid state only the crystal lattice structure will come. Therefore, they are very closely, they will be more closely packed, more closely arranged molecules than that of the meta dichlorobenzene or ortho dichlorobenzene. Therefore, its melting point is somewhat higher. Okay, therefore, the para isomers are having high melting point. Here it is 323, whereas the other two, 256 and 249, almost the same. Whereas here it is very high. That is because of the symmetry as well as they well fit into the crystal lattice of the solid crystal structure. Density, next property, that is density. Density is mass on volume. That is the definition. Iodo, bromo, polychloro derivatives of hydrocarbons are heavier than water. They are denser than that of water because their size, say iodine, a bigger molecule. Bromine is also a heavier molecule. The mass increases, more mass is there, more number of its atomic mass is higher. Or polychloro, more than one here I consider. This is dichloro actually. More chlorine atoms are there as a substituent or as a functional group, then their density is higher than that of water molecule. Okay, whereas alkyl fluorides and alkyl chlorides, okay, if they are there, then their densities are lesser than that of water. They are generally lighter than that of water. So the relative density increases in the order RCl, that is alkyl chloride or chloroalkane, having a lower density. Bromoalkanes are having higher density, or alkyl iodoalkanes are having higher density. So this is the increasing order of density. Even with alkyl group. So here whatever explanation that is based on the halogen atom present in that. What about the alkyl group present or the alkane hydrocarbon present? The density of alkyl halide increases with the alkyl group as the size of alkyl group decreases. If more alkyl group is there, density is more. If alkyl group number of alkyl or number of carbon or number of hydrogen atoms is less, then the density is less. Therefore, we can say the uh, the density, the alkyl halide having the highest density, that is methyl iodide. Methyl iodide is the haloalkane with the highest density. Now stability of haloalkanes with the same alkyl group decreases in the order Rf with RCl to RBr with Ri. Okay, same alkyl group, same R, but if fluorine, if it is there, then it is more stable, then chlorine, then bromine, then with iodide. Okay, since the strength of CF bond decreases, okay, the explanation is given here: CF, CCl, CBr, Ci. That is the decreasing order. Solubility: the haloalkanes are polar in nature because of the halogen are more electronegative than that of carbon. Polarity is the charge separation, partial positive charge to carbon atom and partial negative charge to the halogen atom. Therefore, they are polar. Is supposed to be solubilizing or dissolving in water. Water is also another polar molecule, but haloalkanes are not. They are not good. Very slightly soluble in water. They won't. Water cannot be treated as a good solvent for haloalkane. Okay, why? Because they are, though they are polar in nature, they are not capable of breaking the hydrogen bonds of between the water molecules. Water molecules form strong hydrogen bonding. One water molecule, that is H2O, forms stronger hydrogen bond with the next H2O molecule. Okay, that hydrogen bond, it is difficult for haloalkanes to break, or it cannot form hydrogen bonding with the water molecule. Therefore, they are not soluble in water. Water as a solvent, it is difficult to dissolve. Whereas haloalkanes can be soluble in organic solvents like benzene, that is C6H6. Other organic solvents can be used to dissolve haloalkanes. That is to do some reaction, and we have to dissolve the alkyl halide to continue the chemical reaction. So dipole moment, last point, that is dipole moment. Dipole moment of the alkyl halide or methyl halide is example, chloromethane or fluoromethane, bromomethane, iodomethane. So usually we expect the order fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, like that order. But here it is CH3Cl comes first, then fluorine, then bromine and iodine. Because CH3Cl has larger dipole moment than CH3F, because the dipole moment, by definition, it is not only based on the product of distance and charge. Okay, dipole moment means the charge, which side the charge separation is there, how much the strength of the dipole, that is a dipole moment. Okay, it is not based on the, not only based on the charge separation, because CF, there is more charge separation than CCl, but also distance between the carbon and halogen. So CF bond is shorter than, very much shorter than that of a CCl. Therefore, that also contribute towards the dipole moment. So fluorine is more electronegative than fluorine, but the carbon fluorine bond is also much shorter than carbon chlorine bond. That is 139 picometer versus 178 picometer. 178 picometer for CCl normal bond and 139 picometer for CF normal sigma bond. Okay, therefore dipole moment, you should remember this CCl as well as CF, that particular nature. If you consider some other examples, say carbon tetrachloride, trichloromethane or dichloromethane, this is tetrachloromethane, carbon tetrachloride means tetrachloromethane. If you consider their cases a dipole moment, so here dipole moment, the movement of electrons or electron density will be more towards the chlorine. Chlorine is more electronegative, therefore the electron density is more towards chlorine of this Cl bond. And here also it is just opposing to that. Therefore, electron density is shifting equally on both sides. Okay, if I consider a mirror here, if I consider left side, left and right of this carbon, Therefore, the dipole moment here it is balancing. The next case also it will get a balance, or we can say the net dipole moment is zero. In case of carbon tetrachloromethane, the net dipole moment is zero. Whereas in CHCl3 trichloromethane, one hydrogen is there and three chlorine. Okay, wherever hydrogen is there, that electron will be pulled by carbon because carbon is more electronegative than that of hydrogen. Therefore, here the arrow, the dipole moment arrow is towards carbon, whereas opposite to that it is not opposing, it's also moving to the same direction. Okay, CCl bond is the movement of electrons or electron density is on to the left side only, whereas here it is opposing to each other. Therefore, we can say to the right side of this molecule, if I say there is a slight movement of electrons to the right side because of chlorine, whereas hydrogen is opposing that, whereas left side it is towards more, it is the movement of electron is more towards the left side. Therefore, CHCl3 has got a dipole moment of 1.03. It is higher than that of tetrachloroethane. Okay, some hydrogen opposing force is there, but still it has got a dipole moment of 1.03 d. Whereas in case of dichloromethane, there is a electron movement, possible electron movement towards hydrogen, means the shifting of CH bond is towards hydrogen, whereas towards Cl. In the other side also, it is almost the same. Therefore, we can say the total electron movement is towards the left side. Okay, whether with hydrogen or with the chlorine effect, the movement of electron is towards left side, or we can say it is more act as a dipole. Okay, therefore the dipole moment is 1.62. Therefore, dichloromethane having highest dipole moment among all these three examples. Other examples, say chlorobenzene and cyclohexyl chloride. The structure looks the same, but here it is benzene, aromatic molecule. Here it is not aromatic, it is a cycloalkane. And the carbon containing the chlorine atom, that is sp2 hybridized in case of chlorobenzene, and is sp3 hybridized in case of cyclohexyl chloride. Okay, as the hybridization sp2 to sp3, there is variation in dipole moment. sp2 hybridized carbon is more electronegative, okay, than sp3 hybridized carbon. Here more electronegativity means it has got higher tendency to pull electron. Due to resonance, the CX bond in chlorobenzene acquires some double bond. In chlorobenzene, the resonating structures, the shifting of electrons also shift towards the chlorine. Therefore, the Cl bond in benzene, it is not exactly a single bond. It also have got the partial double bond nature. Okay. Therefore, the CCl bond in chlorobenzene is shorter than cyclohexyl chloride. Okay, so thank you very much for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel and support me, and share this information to your friends. I'm signing out from this presentation. Once again, thank you very much and have a nice day.